Knock knock.
Who's there?
Sutton.
Sutton Hoo.
Exactly.
Terrible. And we're off on the first day of our East Anglia Tour. We've got fantastic weather. And for those of you that saw my last post, you can see we've clearly packed more sensibly. See you later.
So this tour was going to take us east to the Suffolk coast, then north to the North Norfolk coast, and then back west for an overnight stay in Lincolnshire. But our first stop is going to be Sutton Hoo in Suffolk, regarded as England's Valley of the Kings, and the Anglo-Saxon ship burial found in the King's Mound is the richest burial ever found in Northern Europe. Sutton Hoo is the site of one of the most significant finds in English archaeology. In 1939, archaeologists discovered a 1,400-year-old Anglo-Saxon burial at the site that included an entire ship, and what came to be known as the Sutton Hoo helmet, described as the most iconic object from one of the most spectacular archaeological discoveries ever made. And so, always fascinated by the rich history of our own country, we thought we'd drop in and check it out.
Not just one in a million stars, I just want a distance.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Sutton.
Sutton Hoo.
Exactly.
Be aware that it's about a 10-minute walk to get to the actual burial mounds. And when you get there, to be honest, there's not an awful lot to see, but we managed to gate crash an organised tour. As much as we love our history, I think that the significance of the archaeological find is actually greater than the visual spectacle itself. Experts believe that because of the size of the ship and the quality of the mask, it was probably the property of Radwold, the King of East Anglia, who died around 625 AD. And this is the iconic Sutton Hoo mask.
So that was Sutton Hoo. I'm actually not sure what was more ancient, the old king's ship or Bride's knock-knock joke. Anyway, our final ride of the day was to take us to our accommodation, the White Lion in Aldeburgh.
Remember when we first met on the other side of town where you used to live? Told me a secret I can't forget. That's the reason I left you. Never could foresee the things would turn out the way they did. Your stories weren't just stories after all. You and I both had it wrong. Picking up the pieces one by one, I'm done. This whole thing is so bizarre. Our last goodbye, au revoir. Guess I'll never forgive you. I'm done. How we snuck out. Used to take your car and drive around for hours. You told me stories I can't forget about your dreams.
Aldeburgh is a coastal town in Suffolk with a population of about 2,500 people, and it's mainly famous for being the home of composer Benjamin Britten. In the 16th century, Aldeburgh was a leading port and had a flourishing shipbuilding industry, including building Sir Francis Drake's Golden Hind.
Now picking up the pieces one by one, I'm done. This whole thing is so bizarre. I'll ask goodbye.
So here we are, folks. Day one of our East Anglia tour brings us to our first overnight stay at the White Lion Hotel here in beautiful Aldeburgh. It's a bit cold, a bit grey, but anyway, let's go and check out the room and then we'll go and explore the delights of Aldeburgh. Number 12. So, upgraded us to a sea view room and a super king size bed, because when you come to the seaside, you've got to see the sea, haven't you?
See the seaside.
So, what are your first impressions like?
It's nice. I mean, it's a bright room, huge bed, lovely view. It's not as modern as some of the places we've stayed,
No.
But it's got a bit of character.
It's an old
nice.
pub. It's an old pub. So, but
It's got a tub.
yeah, it's a great big bed. There's the sea view. It's getting a bit breezy at the moment, and
Yes, you said bathroom, shower. There's a tub there. Yeah, not modern, but very acceptable. Anyway, we're going to go and get changed and go out and explore the delights of Aldeburgh and find out where the best pubs are, of course, and food. Ready for beer and coffee. That's Aldeburgh. How warm is it?
Freezing.
Well, it makes middle of summer. All right. That's where we're staying, the White Lion Hotel over there. And this is the delightful Aldeburgh Museum. And that's where they smoke fish.
Some people smoke cigarettes.
What's called a moot hall now, but for years, when it was first built around about 1530, around to 1550, it was built as a town hall. It was called a town hall until 1855 when it was restored again, and they called it moot hall after that, which is an old Anglo-Saxon word meaning meeting place for governors. It's also used to be a court. Downstairs at that end used to be a jail.
Despite the extreme cold and the very strong wind, we decided we'd try and get the drone up for a bit of footage. Unfortunately, a squadron of rogue seagulls didn't like their airspace being invaded.
The rogue seagulls cutting our drone flying time actually did us a favour and got us out of the cold. Time to go and find a nice warm pub.
Beer o'clock, folks, Aldeburgh. Here in this little pub called the Cross Keys. Oh, Stu's found some friends. Oh yeah. Fine, look at that. Find a ghost ship. Cheers.
Cheers.
Wow, that was a great couple of pints of ghost ship. And now we're on our way to a little seafood restaurant. So what have we got in here for starter?
We've started with fish soup, which looks amazing.
And smells great. And
Smells really good.
a bottle of Muscadet. Perfect.
Well, as the soup queen, that was the best soup I've probably ever tasted. It was great. The main, not so much.
The suit was good. The suit was brilliant. And that was about it. So, if you're staying in Aldeburgh, would we recommend the White Lion Hotel?
Aldeburgh's a quirky little seaside town with a long pebble beach, and walking along the seafront feels like taking a step back in time. The White Lion Hotel is in a great location, right on the seafront and close to restaurants and pubs, many of which incidentally are closed during the early part of the week. We stayed in room number 12, which was large and bright, with a super king-size bed and plenty of room for all our kit. There were basic tea and coffee making facilities and 2 small bottles of complimentary water, pretty essential for us as there was a sign in the bathroom indicating the water was not for consumption. There was also a very small but adequate TV. The entrance to the hotel had a bright reception area and comfortable seating for a coffee or evening drink. It looked modern and recently decorated, so we were surprised that the bedroom was actually a bit tired. And while the shower and bath taps looked fairly new, the ensuite really did need a facelift. The service was fine, with a friendly receptionist who was happy to let us check in even though we arrived a little early. The hotel's attached to Sea Spice, an Indian restaurant with a really good reputation. Unfortunately, like a number of other eateries in the town, it wasn't open on a Tuesday, so we chose to take a short 10-minute walk to the Regatta restaurant instead. Breakfast was included and offered a decent selection of hot and cold options, and I can highly recommend the fully loaded bacon butty. There's both reserved on-road parking and a small car park around the back of the hotel. Check-in is usually 3, but we were keen to make sure the bikes were secure off-road, hence our early arrival. We have put the prices for a term time Tuesday night stay at the White Lion in the notes below. While it wasn't the most expensive hotel available, it certainly wasn't cheap, but seems in line with other accommodation in seaside towns that we've stayed in.
After a decent breakfast, it was time to get back on the road.
Good morning, folks, and that was the White Lion Hotel in the delightful town of Aldeburgh. We woke up today to another grey, cold day. Anyway, that was day 1 of our East Anglia Tour. Today we are off to Norfolk, but first we're heading to Framlingham Castle in Ed Sheeran country.
So the first stop was going to be Framlingham to look at the castle, then we're going to head back to the coast to Southwold before heading to our final destination, which is the Black Swan Inn in the little village of Horsham St. Faith.
Shout your name name out loud. I'll always be here for you, like the shore is always waiting for the sea. I'm waiting for you, waiting here for you, aching for your loving arms. Waiting for you, waiting here for you, aching for your loving arms. In your eyes, the ocean met the sky. I can't believe the time that has gone by. The memories will never fade. They keep me going in eternity. Waiting for you, waiting here for you, aching for your loving arms. I walked by the place where you lived before. I saw a couple kissing by the door. It took my breath away. The void you left is more than I can bear. I'm waiting for you, waiting here for you, aching for your loving arms.
Here we are, folks, Framlingham Castle. Apparently, this is Ed Sheeran country. He didn't actually live here. If he did, he left it in a bit of a state of disrepair. But he wrote the very famous Castle on the Hill, which we're reliably informed was inspired by this particular castle, because he lives fairly close by. The castle was built in the 12th century by the Earl of Norfolk, and it was the home of the Dukes of Norfolk for over 400 years. It's also the setting for a crucial moment in English history, the crowning of Mary Tudor as the first Queen of England in July 1553. Over the years it's been used as a drill hall, a county court and a local jail. During the outbreak of the plague in 1666, the castle was used as an isolation ward for infected patients. Castle, folks, and not a sign of Ed Sheeran. Very disappointed.
All Mary Queen of Scots.
Very Queen Scots. Long gone.
Come back tomorrow. You know it's not enough that I can make you laugh. Why try to borrow even more time you never have? It's too late, too late, too late, too late. Slide down the rooftop. Slide down the rooftop. It's too late, too late, too late, too late. You'd have to rebuild me from the ground up. From the ground up.
Someone once said a visit to Southwold is a bit like being in a 1950s time warp. It's a quaint English seaside resort, famous for its pier, which was built in 1900 as a landing stage for steamships that brought tourists from London. And it's still thriving today, as you'll find out. It was also famous for being the home of one of England's greatest novelists, George Orwell, of Animal Farm and 1984 fame.
You could change the world and I'd still be a mess. It's too late, too late, too late, too late. Slide down the rooftop. Slide down the rooftop. It's too late, too late, too late, too late. You'd have to rebuild me from the ground up. From the ground up.
Penny. What's in red sports car?
Go very fast.
The famous Southwold, folks, on a beautiful, glorious sunny day. Not chilly at all. No, absolutely not. So we're going to just wander around, look at these very expensive beach huts. They cost a fortune, apparently. These colourful beach huts are one of Southwold's claims to fame. Even though you can't stay overnight in them, and it can cost £200 a week to hire one, you can actually buy one for something like £150,000.
Wanna tear down these walls, and I know you can do anything, but it's too late, too late, too late, too late. Slide down the rooftop. Slide down